All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, Make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for the next video notification so that way you can stay in touch with my channel. I appreciate that. I want to talk today about YouTube success. And, I got a lot of friends in my family that tell me, Tim, you need to tell a really good story on your channel to share with the people out there. Because there's some people that watch the channel from all over the place. And so I thought about, okay, there's a few people out there that I wanted to talk about that really dedicated to YouTube. And I'm not saying I'm not. It's just I have a job and I have obligations. If in time that YouTube became a full-time job for me, then things would change. I wouldn't have to worry so much solely on making income with a trade. I'd just be constantly shooting videos. And this is not easy doing YouTube channel. Make no mistake about it, boys and girls. You got to do a lot of editing, adding volume, adding music that's not copyrighted or however you choose to shoot your videos for your channel. But a couple people out there, one in particular, this young cat, he was dedicated, obsessed with YouTube channel. He wanted to do this like nobody's business. He wanted to be full-time. But he had a job. He had a college degree. He was a young guy in his 20s, and he worked at a really good job, making good money. I believe he was somewhere around $45,000 a year, maybe $50,000 a year. And he just wasn't happy. And so one of his coworkers was asking him to help him out, do some jobs for him. And so he was doing his workload and another coworker's workload. And this other cat was making more money. And he found out about it. And so he's like, I have an idea. I'm going to turn in a resume and they'll call me in the office and say, we don't want to lose you, man. You're a major asset to the company. What's it going to take to get you to stay? That's what he just knew was going to happen. Well, that's the furthest thing from what really happened. They called him into the office, sure enough, and they said, hey, listen, we're sorry to lose you. You are a great asset to the company, but hey, man, wish you the very best. Let us know how things work out for you. Boom. He was out of a job. 2 weeks notice, no more paychecks. So he's like, you know what? I want to do YouTube full time. He wasn't anticipating that. But when you want something bad enough, you take huge risk. And boy, did he take a risk. That was one heck of a huge risk. I don't know if I'd have done that. No other way to pay my rent, my car payments, or if the car broke, how am I going to pay for repairs? Huge risk. He takes off to California, throws in some clothes and some food, some water, takes off to Cali. Living in his car, and you know how small those Audi TTs are, man? Those German little cars, they're small. He was living in it. Going out there, running around the street, shooting videos, content of exotic cars, whether Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever it may be, out in Los Angeles, California, these exotic cars. And it wasn't paying a lot. He was making like $3, $4 a day on YouTube. That's not going to pay you. It's not, how are you going to eat? How you going to put gas in your car? So he was like, I'm going to go get me some bologna sandwiches and just eat bologna and bread every day. And that's what he did. That's rough, man. That's dedication for you right there, boys and girls. That's hardcore dedication. He wanted it bad. Success on YouTube. Well, one day he come up to his car, put the key in the ignition, turn it over, nothing. Wouldn't start. Now keep in mind, he was parking his car on the side of the road, living in it. And now it won't start, now it won't run. So he took the key out, put it back in again, nothing. Don't start. So he started using his smartphone, Googling what's going on with his car. Finally, he found out that what the problem with the car was. And so he calls the dealership and says, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah. And it was going to cost him more money than he had in the bank. He didn't have enough in the bank to cover the cost. Or just barely. So, his family reached out to him. He reached out to them, whatever. And they offered to help him. But he's like, you know what? I've lost everything else. I'm not going to lose my pride. So I'm going to bail myself out of this without taking help from somebody else. So that's what he did. He hung in there. So he had to order the part But you can't have a part delivered to a parking space with a car. They don't do that. You got to have an actual physical address. So he had to have the part sent to the dealership. So he jumps on a bus, goes for hours and hours one way to get this part, comes back, and he fixes that car. By golly, he did. He fixed that car. And when he was turning that key for the first time, he was praying that thing would start. Because if it didn't start, what was he going to do? I can't imagine the thoughts going through his mind. So he turned the key and it started. Oh, he felt alive again. But what was he going to do? Now he's broke. And living out in California is not cheap, guys. Gasoline out there is not cheap. So he applies for a job out going more east from California, gets a job, and it was working third shift, the graveyard, and he hated it. He was all alone, isolated, no friends, no social life, no nothing. Because you know, boys and girls, when you work third shift, when you get done in the daytime, you sleep during the daytime. You sleep all day during the daytime, and you work all night. Very, very isolated life. Unless you're working in a factory third shift, that may be something different. I can't do third shift. I've tried it. I can't stay awake. I don't care how much coffee you give me. You could pour superleaded in me, man. I just can't stay awake. So the one thing that did give him was a lot of liberty to look for other jobs. So he turned in resumes to a bunch of other jobs, and to his surprise, he got an interview for a job that was offering him $50,000 a year and a bonus if he exceeded his job expectations. If he exceeded it, they were going to give him a bonus. Well, he exceeded it, and so he got more money. But the back of his mind, man, he was always thinking about YouTube. And through all these different transitions, he was still shooting videos. You know, he was still shooting videos, but he wasn't making an awful lot of money, but he was still shooting and shooting and shooting. Well, I have my channel, and I shoot videos. To do this daily and not get paid, you can't survive. You can't live. So you have to implement a plan and stick to it. And he did not. He didn't anticipate losing that job that he had, and he turned in a resume and basically he fired himself. So he was on this job, and it was good money. So he was saving a lot of money. I mean, he was saving a lot of money. Thousands upon thousands of dollars he was just putting back. He was living a poor man's life. He was saving money like crazy. He was living a very strict life because he was saving and saving and saving. Well, he saved enough money where he wanted to buy a brand new Lamborghini because he was thinking about his channel. He wanted to make it grow. So that was what and all his friends and family told him, "You're crazy, man. You're going to lose everything. You fool. You're crazy." Well, sometimes you have to set yourself aside for these people. You got to isolate yourself from these people, because I don't want to say misery wants company, because your family doesn't surely not think like that. But they were looking out for his, they didn't understand how hard he was going to work with this YouTube. They didn't understand his dedication. He was overzealous. So they didn't get it. But he had to separate himself from the negativity to stay focused, because I get that. I completely get that. When you're so focused, nobody else is going to spend that time and energy to focus on something that they're not obsessed with, that they're not dedicated to. They're just not going to do it. But he was in that zone. He had to make this work. So he bought the car. Later on, the company he worked for went bankrupt. Again, he lost his job. And he had that Lamborghini, and he has a place to live. What's he going to do? How's he going to eat? How's he going to pay that car payment? Oh, man. Well, guess what? Round two, man. This time, things are going to be different. This time, I'm going to be a beast. I'm going to do nothing but just shoot content. Well, that's what he did. He flew all over the world. He went everywhere, man, shooting. I mean, because he was getting up, he got over 200,000 subscribers. He was growing pretty good, and he was making decent money, and all he did was become an animal. He was like the Mike Tyson of YouTube, man. He was just knocking them out. Boom, pow! I mean, he was killing it. Well, he grew. Oh boy, did he grow. He grew like steroids, man. And now he's living the dream that he's always wanted to live. Got cars out the wazoo, houses, travel, friends, the lifestyle that he's always wanted, the job that he's always wanted. My advice to somebody like that would be keep in touch with the roots. Don't lose mindset of what actually got you there. That hard work that you did, that tenacity, just don't forget how that process went. So when you get on top, what is the best thing about being on top is that the food's everywhere. When you're hungry, you just take it, you eat it. But the one thing I don't like about something like these stories that I'm telling you right now is that when people like whoever it is that are trying and they're working hard, due diligence to make a good channel better and better, and they reach out to you, it costs nothing to give them some advice. It costs nothing to help them. The smallest little sentence with only 3-4 words, or even complicated ones, can change their life forever. Not just your story can make them hungry, encourage them. But again, just don't make this solely about yourself, because friends can be superficial. Will those friends be there for you if you didn't have millions of subscribers and you had hundreds of thousands of dollars? Will those same friends be there for you when you were living in the alley, in the streets, and had nothing? Don't think so. So keep in touch with the roots, because you can have all the money in the world, boys and girls, and you're not happy. It's the process that keeps you hungry. It's the process. It's the journey. It's the fire in your gut that makes you happy. Because let me tell you something. You focus on the work, you focus on the job, you focus on the checker flag, the money's going to be there waiting on you. Don't focus on the money, because it's going to be there. Just get to the checker flag. Now, for me personally, I have reached out to a few people that have thousands of subscribers, even some of them that had a few million subscribers. They won't even give you the time of day. Now, I'll grant you this. They probably have thousands upon thousands of people reaching out to them, and they can't possibly check all their emails or their messaging. It's too much. You have to hire a team, a warehouse full of people that are doing nothing but answering replies, just constantly. But if that person is in your own city, your own town, your own state, your own backyard, give them a shout out, man. I would. So again, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for the next video. And I try to shoot as many videos as I can. And I have a job. I can't shoot, 10, 15 videos a week. I can't do that because I have a job. But if my channel does ever get to the point where it will self-propel me in the future, then I will do this full time. I'm not obsessed with it, but I do enjoy it. It's therapeutic to be able to speak to you guys. I enjoy it. I really do. But again, give me a comment. Let me know how you like the videos, how you like the channel. And anyway, by the way, the cat that I was telling a story about, he's very successful. I won't say names, but I will say this. It wouldn't take a lot to find him. He's in Cali, and he's really big in the car circuit, and he's really big into exotic cars, huge in exotic cars, and he lives a very, very rich lifestyle. And he's earned it. Again, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell. Till next time, see ya!